That's Mick Jagger there. What can the Rolling Stones teach us about economics? A newly published book called Popular Economics claims that the rock group can. It's by author and good friend John Tamny, who joins us now from Washington. John, you're one of the few people in the world as enthusiastic about economics as I am, and you claim that the Rolling Stones can teach us something about economics.
Yeah, we're missing out on way too much growth because people are explaining economics in ways no one that can understand. So I figured, why not teach people taxes through something like the Rolling Stones? Well, back in the 1970s, and I hate to age you, but you probably remember this, the top tax rate in England was 83%.
And actually, we've got a quote from the book in it, and we're going to put it up now. It turns out raising the cost of working 83% meant the Inland Revenue Service, which is like the IRS here, collected 83% of nothing from the Rolling Stones. Can you explain that?
Yeah, well, the Rolling Stones, as most rich people are, they're highly mobile. So not wanting to pay a penalty on work of 83%, they made Exile on Main Street one of their best albums ever in the south of France. So the rich can avoid penalties on taxes, but guess who can't? All the sound engineers, all the caterers, the drivers, all the people who go into making an album, those people in England couldn't move with the Stones to the south of France, so they paid these high tax rates levied on the rich.
Okay, and that wasn't a good thing. Now we know that Mick Jagger did attend London School of Economics, so maybe he learned something there. The whole of your book seems to be about making things more popular and making sense out of economics, which is a much maligned. Take us down how Downton Abbey can teach us something.
Well, if you look at that show, what is the underlying theme season after season? How do we maintain the estate in the eyes of the Inland Revenue Service, all the people trying to break it up, estate taxes? And so my argument is, if you want to redistribute the wealth of the rich, don't tax it away, let them hold on to it. If Paris Hilton has millions of dollars, she can't spend it, and so once she puts it in the bank, it's immediately lent out to those not as rich as she is, who want car loans, tuition loans, who need a small business loan. More broadly in the book, I talk about the creation of ESPN. It was a joke in the 1970s. It was able to survive and become one of the most valuable properties in sports thanks to a $10 million investment from the Getty Oil Trust. What we find is that when the estates remain intact, their wealth is then invested in the businesses of the future. Let's maintain them so that we can have more great ESPN-like businesses.
Well, we do like great businesses because they do create jobs. Now, LeBron James, this one seems a little more of a stretch. Take us through it.
Well, let's face it, as individuals, we're all free traders. We all do a job we're best at and then try to get the other things we're not as good at. LeBron James is the best basketball player in the world. He could also be a good NFL football player, but if he were, it would be at the expense of being the highest paid basketball player in the world. And so he does what he's best at and then outsources his other needs, including watching football, including clothes, food, and all that. That's what we should do as individuals. Do the work we're best at and then trade freely with others, including with people around the world. It's the path to a great life.
And that's something that David Ricardo figured out in the 19th century. Now, John, over the last decade, we've seen a lot of central planners, statists come out of the woodwork, out of the closet, if you like. You, I know, are a free marketer like I am. Do you think your book is going to help turn that tide back and send those statists and central planners running?
I think so, and I hope so. That was the purpose. We are the richest country in the world. The world is rapidly liberalizing, but imagine how much more growth we would have if we could realize just how much governmental barriers are robbing us of substantial prosperity. It's not that regulation doesn't very often work. It cannot work because you're asking those who couldn't get jobs in a certain industry to regulate those who could. In the book, I use Michigan's loss to Appalachian State to explain why regulation cannot work. When you think about money, the fact that money's floating around in value is robbing us of enormous growth. I know with you and I, we've been talking for years about the tragedy of the bank bailouts. It's not that we hate Wall Street, we love Wall Street, and we realize the bailouts restrained its positive evolution. Silicon Valley's rich because most of its businesses fail, not because most of them succeed. We've got to get government out of all aspects of commerce, including saving businesses from their mistakes.
I love it. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure. John Tamny, who is the author of the book, Popular Economics, What the Rolling Stones, Downton Abbey and LeBron James Can Teach You About Economics. And I'll be sitting down with that tonight. Thank you very much, John.